Alright, love it. This is the 1000th version of the swing. Just gonna go over the mechanics of it. So it pretty much combines all the other mechanics of the 1000 other swings, all the lessons of all the benefits of all those other swings, puts them all together and adds one final element. So quick review of the other swings is the biggest thing was the turn, right? We were saying kind of twist, use your body to turn the hands over, use the body to move the club, use the body to pretty much do everything. You don't do your arms, use your arms really for anything. So we keep a lot of that theme still. Another part of it was having leverage within the club, as far as having the hands in front of the club face. The farther the hands are in front of the club face, the more leverage you have, the more power you put into the ball. We're still going to keep that theme. The one thing that we're going to add with everything is this part called it's basically the release of the club. So with the other swings, basically what we're doing was you're turning back, opening up the club face. To close it, turning the body, right, to close the club face, turning it, and then not really releasing till like way afterwards. So you end up having to follow through kind of like this, and you know you're kind of your entire body pretty much has to shift to be able to close the club face and then hit the ball and go up. So you get this type of follow through action. The other part with it also with keeping a lot of leverage and doing the same thing. You go back and you just kind of hold kind of the lock, and you turn into it. You get a lot of leverage. The hands are in front of the club a lot, but you're essentially just holding on to everything, and you end up kind of like this. So, which is fine. You can shoot a great round with it and all that. But it's just missing something. So the swing will work, but incomplete. So the final part of it is you kind of do all the other things. This new part of it is a little bit looser too. The other swings are fairly effortless. This makes it even more effortless than those other ones are. You get even more power out of it. So the last part of it is to add kind of a release element, right? Releasing the club face at the point of impact. So how the pros look a lot, if you do screenshots on right after the follow through, they kind of have this type of look, right? They're still looking down at the ball, but their hands are completely rolled over, and it just kind of looks like that, right? So that's essentially the element that we're adding this time. Everything else is the same, right? So you still turn back, you still use your shoulder turn, you still twist, right? All of that stuff, you still use leverage. The difference is you're actually rolling over, and your head's going to stay back. So the old swing, basically, you go back and you turn and you kind of do one of these things, and you turn hard enough and you'll release. With this one, you're going to stay back on it a little bit, go, and your head and kind of the upper part of you still stays. You don't turn with the ball as much. You kind of stay down with it, and you let the wrists and everything turn with it instead, right? So again, the old mechanic is you kind of do one of these things, right? And turn with it, and you end up looking up like right away. And this one, go, and all that energy, all that turning energy gets released into your hands instead, and your hands roll over. So it's important to note though that your hands aren't forcing that turn. You're not flipping it intentionally like this. What happens is your body is initiating that turn, and your hands are just letting it completely turn over. that's essentially the difference. So from this angle, as far as how the swing mechanics work, you still come back with a shoulder turn, turn back, and you turn along the swing plane. So for example, if we got here and we're aiming straight down that way, what we're going to do is you just set up a swing plane, one with the ball, one with your shoulders, one in the middle. And you're just going to visualize the swing plane. Not sure how it's going to look on the camera, but how it looks to you when you're looking at it. When you're coming back, it's going to feel like the club face is exactly going down that swing path. And up and down, and when you follow through, you're going to feel like the club is pointing exactly in that swing path again. So that's how you keep straight shots. If you want to fade it a little bit, you're going to come out a little bit out. You come back in. This motion is going to induce a fade. If you want to do a little bit draw, you come back in and you do this on that line. This motion, this in to out, will induce a slight draw when you hit it. So if you want to come out, come back straight down, that'll draw. Come out this way, you can end up fading it. So essentially, so you turn back again, turn back, use your body to turn back into it, right? And then your hands just release. So you're gonna stay back, keep your head behind the ball still. So you have one of these things where you're just kind of looking back at it, kind of diagonally down, while your hands roll over, caused by your body. So again, it's not me doing this, right? I'm not instigating with my hands. You're instigating with the turn, and then the hands just naturally rolled over because that's what your body is doing. From this angle, just going back, and that's it. So again, coming back, coming over. So really slow, boom, body turns, boom, club face is closed, everything's still, your head still behind the ball, boom, and over, right? So boom, and over, boom. So that's it, just literally that effortless. So coming this way. As far as the energy, just to give you an idea of just how effortless it is, for like a 275-yard drive, just straight away, you'll get some roll or whatever, depending on what, like my driver's 8.5, so it gets a lot of roll. So within 8.5, with the driver, again, also a note with the driver is your swing path with the driver is going to be a little bit flatter coming back. So with the irons, you come straight on that path, boom, release, straight down the path. With the driver, you're going to come back a little bit flatter, and release straight down the path. And you're going to hit up into the ball. That's the difference with the driver. Same kind of lessons and mechanics as before with the other swings. But this is kind of all the effort you need with the driver to hit it 275. So you line up with a little bit closer to your left foot, kind of cant back a little bit because you're going to scoop up into the ball, not at the ball or down into the ball, right? You're going to scoop up, you're going to hit up into the ball. And this is pretty much it. So, but literally that'll go 275 with the driver. So again, shoulder turn back, turn to instigate, and release. Turn to instigate, release. And you stay back with your head on it. Let the body go through, and rotate through. So full speed again. That's it. Literally, you don't need to swing any higher than that for 275. Again. If you want to add a little bit more juice to it, for whatever reason, it's not about swinging harder at it. It's just adding a little bit more shoulder turn and keeping that same rhythm and closing the face and all that. So for the level player like us, it's not about club head speed to get power. It's all about maintaining the quality of contact, right? Hitting it square, right in the sweet spot, in the right flight path where you're keeping all the energy in there. And you get a little bit more torque with the turn. And the number one thing is to maintain that contact, maintain the quality of contact. Because you can swing twice as hard and have a little bit less contact in, and you're not going nearly as far as that effortless swing with 100% pure contact. So again, just come back and release through. Okay. Come back and release through. And so I'm going to freeze right after the hit. So again, release through. So boom, boom, boom. And yeah, that's pretty much it from this side of it. Since it's got stuff to hit, I'll just do a straight shot back, and you release over. Alright, so boom, boom. So freeze it again, right there. Stare down, everything rolls over. And one thing to be careful on, you want to kind of tuck both your shoulders in a little bit. In general on the swing, you don't need to keep them super tight, but that helps with keeping the mechanics connected. For example, if your arms get too separated out, you're going to be just doing very arm-heavy type mechanics and all that. If you keep everything tight, almost like you're holding the shirt under each arm here. What that does is it keeps everything connected, and it keeps your body using the instigator. Keeps your body as the instigator for all things turning. Right. So again, you don't want to just fling it like this. Turn back, and it turns by itself. Boom. 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 Alright. So as far as making contact with the ball, we'll just do a really short hit. Just something like that. Boom. Then you freeze at it. Boom. Freeze at it. Everything is in front. And then you release. In front, and then release. So, coming right at the camera, just a little bit. Right, and you release. So, same thing right there. Do it again. Just kind of back, and release. Pretty straightforward. One last time. I've got a lot of room to swing any other direction here, so go again, back, and release. So that's it. Basically, you could apply that to every club the same as far as irons go, even the woods. That's the same way I swing for my 3-wood, for the hybrid, 2-iron, all the way to sand wedge. As far as hitting off the grass, hitting out of the sand is totally different. And then for the driver, again, you're hitting up. But you're still turning back, turning over, releasing through, and kind of always staring down, holding that position. Kind of looking up at the ball. So that's it, man.